Hello and welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. I'm Dana Cowley and my guest today is Scott Keller. Scott, thank you so much for joining us.
Dana, thank you for asking me.
Scott is the Executive Director of the Port of Benton, and today we're going to discuss your contributions to the wine industry over the years.
Excellent. I think it all started about in the mid-'80s we had a small building up in Prosser. And it was called the Prosser Industrial Park, but nothing was happening industrial-wise. And Mike Hogue and his brother Gary came out of their barn. They needed a building to start producing some wine. And they leased one half of a 12,000 square foot building. And within 6 months to a year, they leased the other half. And the Hogue Cellars, which kind of started the wine industry in that valley there, it was started, and it just has grown from there.
Well, and that's when we really started seeing transition in this area from tree fruits into wine grapes.
Exactly. I think the apple industry was glutted, and the farmers were looking at some sort of diversification where they can, grow some other crops. And when the wine industry and people got interested in wine, and the demand was huge and the supply was low, the farmers that tore out some of their apple trees, they basically planted their vineyards, and the rest is history.
Right, and for about the same amount of work, because it's a value-added product, you might make more for the same amount of investment and labor.
Exactly, and they could either sell the wine to a winery, or the grapes to a winery, or a lot of the farmers up there have gone ahead and started their own wineries with their own grapes.
I know there were fewer than about 20 wineries in the Central Valley area back in this time, and now we have well over 100.
Well over 100. Just in one of our parks, what's called the Vineyards Village, which is at one of the exits at Prosser, there's 13 wineries, and we started the park about 7 years ago, and we have $30 million worth of private investment in buildings and 13 wineries in just this one area of about 30 acres.
And so besides that, what else is the port working on for the wine industry now?
We actually purchased another 25 acres to the south of Vineyards Village, and it's called Vineyards Village 2, and we have 20 lots for sale there. And we also are working with the Walter Clore Wine and Culinary Center trying to get that building up.
And then what's happening long term? What's your 20-year vision for the wine industry?
Long term, I hope we can keep going with the wine. The wine industry demand is still high. And I think we can spin off some other types of companies, cheeses, breads, stuff like that it goes with the wine. And there's a lot of diversification that can be done with this industry.
How has the recent economy impacted the wine industry? I know that people are still buying wines, but maybe more affordable wines, or what transitions do you see?
It's definitely more affordable wines. We have seen a slowdown in selling of land. I mean, about the last 2 years, we've had a very slow sales program. And that we were kind of behind the curve of the rest of the nation. I think we were in a bubble here for a while, but the last couple of years has slowed down. And I think if you notice, some of the high-end wineries have been hurting a lot more than the ones with the lower cost wine.
Very good. Scott, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us, and thank you for all the good information. Scott Keller, he's the Executive Director with the Port of Benton. I'm Dana Cowley, and you're watching Charter Local Edition Northwest.